Hello and welcome to the latest installment of a discussion. I'm joined for probably the final time in quite some time by Anton tonight, and reason for that being is that the season is over. We've ended the season. We've kind of skipped 2 weeks, played two games, two results that maybe don't best represent what Jimmy and Dino have done so far at the club. But we have stayed up, which is the huge kind of story really, and just because of these two games that maybe we didn't put in the best performances, really shouldn't kind of overall what has been done. Anton, good evening. How are you?
Good, mate. Thanks yourself.
Yeah, doing well. Thank you very much. And the last time we caught up was 2 weeks ago, I believe, ahead of this Gillingham game, which we spoke about in great detail. We knew what we were going to get with Steve Evans. I certainly got a headache, which was one of the many things that I'm sure we touched on at some point with that booming voice. We got a 1-1 draw at the end of the day. Considering I think at the time it was kind of two teams who didn't really have much to play for. It was a dead rubber game, and we went on to the end. Ryan Broom scoring a late equaliser as well. Overall, it's not a bad performance and a point to take out from it.
Yeah, definitely. Steve Evans' side's never easy to play against. Physical, direct. Thought we dealt with it well for the majority of the game. After watching it back, we knocked on the door throughout the game. Obviously, changed it a little bit in the second half. Went two up front for a while, and Ryan Broom swept in late on and scored an equaliser. You know what I did there, didn't you? You got a laugh out of it.
That's awful.
I could have said went in and got brushed under the carpet and swept it in. Could have made it even worse. But no, I think we deserved a draw. We had chances to win it, but as I say, never easy against Steve Evans. Certainly frustrated him, frustrated his team, and we knew the last two games were never going to be easy. So, but squad rotation, a few players showing what possibly they're capable of. Also, the goalkeeping department, Joe Powell, Josh Earl, O'Hara in goals, Broom coming on. So Jimmy was having a good look and still managed to get a good result against Gillingham. So promising signs.
Yeah, and it was like you kind of say, it was a very difficult game for us, and so was the Oxford one, which we'll get on to in a minute for slightly different reasons. But overall, we're kind of, as I think we were, Jimmy and the management team definitely would have been disappointed with the manner in which we conceded. I think it was kind of, if I'm remembering correctly, we just kind of switched off at the back and that they slipped through and grabbed a goal. It was kind of one of those lapses in concentration that maybe we haven't seen since Jimmy and Dino have come in. It's something that they've kind of eradicated from the team, and it was something that we also cost us a lot early in the season. I think kind of having looked back over the last kind of 2 weeks at some of our earlier games, there was so many goals we conceded from just simple kind of individual errors of someone misplacing a pass or someone misjudging a header or whatever. It's something that costs us. So we've managed to keep that out of our system for a long time. Unfortunate to concede like that though, and like Gillingham are never really a team where you want to be forced onto them, if you know what I mean. They're very happy to kind of sit back and let you keep knocking on the door.
But yeah, I think changing the team around a little bit and certainly defence. Changing the goalkeeper with Garrett for out, O'Hara in, Josh Earl at left back, Tom Hamer into right back, and Brayford in the middle. There's a lot of changes in that defensive area, so you're going to expect that probably that they're not going to know each other quite as well as they have done in the last couple of weeks. So, you expect little areas of that to creep in. Thought we could have dealt with it things a little bit better, but they've got to learn in there. It'd be interesting to see how that defensive kind of lineup looks next season. Obviously, Brayford's kind of contracted. Tom Amer's obviously come into the building, done great so far. We're going to miss Hayden Carter if he doesn't come back. And obviously the left back situation and another centre half minimum of one. So, we've got to get used to performing with different partnerships at the defence, and it was a time to change it. So you got to expect mistakes happen sometimes. But we try to press the ball They're quite direct, so you have to try and cut the ball out at source, which we spoke about probably one of the first couple of weeks of obviously the discussions. Cut the ball at source and cut it out early. So, the defence and the goalkeeper haven't got as much work to do. You're working harder further up the pitch, but, you do that and you reap your rewards later on. And I think we've done that all out the season. The defence has done really, really well, but part of that is because the rest of the team have defended a lot better higher up the pitch as well, and we've cut that ball out earlier on rather than letting the ball get to the defence. So credit to everybody really for the last 6 months in that aspect.
Yeah, and that was one of the things that, like you said, we kind of identified when Jimmy came in. It was somewhere where we excelled in his first few games back at the club, and also kind of were really good in his first kind of spell. We very pressed quite high, quite aggressively, set the traps well, and really kind of forced teams to actually send it long against us, and we could catch them out at times, which we've done this season as well. So yeah, no, it's definitely a good sign and different to maybe how we've played under, if you think kind of Cloughie, maybe we're just a little bit more passive. There was a little bit more kind of, we wanted to control the game in a different way. And, I think under Nigel especially, we tried to play a lot more with the ball and kind of look at what we could do creatively. Whereas obviously with Jimmy, it's a lot more about the legs, and that's paid off. And, it's been a bit of a gamble. I'm sure there was a lot of that kind of being knocked around when we got them in, but we've got the job done.
Yeah, we've said before, that the way that Hasselbank's come in with Dino and, the shoulders up at the back, we've defended well from the front, we've defended higher up. Obviously, energy levels in midfield. It's not the most attractive football to watch, but it's been really effective. For me, if we can do that, we'll play a bit more football. Not really, I say I'm not bothered where we finish, but if we can do that and add a bit more entertainment to the game, as long as we finish mid-table, top half somewhere, I'll be more than happy. Don't particularly want another season of scrapping around and probably, not negative football, but soaking up football and waiting for it wouldn't be something I want to watch. But I think it will be high energy, and I think we're in for an interesting summer. I think probably leading into your next question or your next subject you're going to talk about later on, but we've had obviously the retain list that's come out today, and there's probably 11, I think, names that have left. So there's been numbers in there to bolster and to replace players with. There'll be a few that are also out of contract that he was trying to get in long term. The loan situation, whether we get the loans back in permanently or reloaned in, or obviously replacements for them. So fantastic and interesting summer. I think what the job that they've done already will show what a good partnership they're building. I think it shows what a good group of players we've got already in the building, and that will only encourage people to sign for us. And you take from when Jimmy and Dino came in, I think if the form table in the league started then, I think we finished fourth. So testament to them. I think that'll be a big attraction for players coming in. So it'll be interesting to see what caliber of players we can bring in with Dino's connections in the lower leagues and also Jimmy's connections higher up, maybe from Premier League and Championship clubs, to get people in on loan, or youngsters be given a chance lower down. We've seen already with Terry Taylor dropping down coming from Wolves, already showing what a talent he's going to be. So if we can find and unearth a few more gems, then short term, really good for us, gives them an opportunity, but long term, even making some money on them as well. So I think we're in a really good position considering where we were 6 months ago.
Yeah, and everything's kind of come on leaps and bounds since where we looked some, if you October, November kind of time. Unfortunately, we kind of didn't get to end the season on quite such a high result and a high, kind of quality performance. I think it's kind of one of those games that we just go kind of, as you said, we'll kind of brush it under the carpet a bit, because at the end of the day, Oxford had a lot at stake for them. We had nothing. We kind of made a few changes as well, and that maybe kind of caught us out in places, but lost 4-0 wasn't really a good performance. But no, you could definitely see that Oxford were a team that really needed that win. I think when they were and they look like one of the better teams from those 2 games that we've played them this season. Look like one of the better sides that we've played as well. So obviously they're heading to the playoffs now. But no, 4-0 loss, disappointing really.
Yeah, I think Oxford was the game that Jimmy, when he was appointed, it was the first one he watched. I don't think he was in charge as such, but he watched that. I think we lost. I can't remember what the score was, but we got battered. You could hear him on the commentary, trying to get us playing high up the pitch is obviously what we did, and then from week 1. But I cast my mind back to October time, and Oxford were only just outside the relegation places themselves. So everyone talks about how well we've done. Credit to Carl Robinson and the owners at Oxford, but they've stuck with him. They've stuck into the playoffs, so you knew that we were in for a game. Jimmy changed the squad a little bit again to give players opportunities to probably show them what they can do. We saw Kieran and Gilgallen, or Gilligan, what you want to call it, however it's pronounced, for the first time for a few months. We got Dylan Barnes starting. We've not seen him at all. Josh Parker came on as well. So, we were going to change it around. But, as I said before, we've probably got a lot of tired legs in the building, and probably a lot of mentally wise as well players that have gone through an absolute rocky roller coaster. So, we had nothing to play for. It was a dead rubber. It'd been great to have finished the season on a high, but Oxford needed the result, and they did what they needed to do. We made errors again, but you're going to get that when you play players that aren't playing week in, week out. They haven't got that momentum. They probably haven't got that confidence, and probably trying too hard a little bit. But fair play to Oxford. One of the better teams we've probably played this season. And they obviously out tactically played us. And good luck to them in the playoffs. But, let's not be too disheartened with one defeat. We had 2 players out that have been a big kind of contributors in the way that we've been playing in the last 6 months, with Sean Clare obviously on loan from Oxford and Ryan Edwards being out injured. Missing those 2 in that engine room, it was going to be a struggle as well. So you can't take that away from them. And, a 4-0 loss, it looks bad, but, it's a long season, dead rubber, different players in. It's not the end of the world. We've shown what we're capable of with what we've got already. So, again, really promise. I think we were in for a really positive summer. I think the atmosphere around with the fans is really positive as well. The excitement. I think Grantham have announced that there's a friendly on, I want to say July the 21st. Be interesting to see if that's the first team fixture for the Brewers, or obviously we'll send the youngsters out there. But I would imagine as long as restrictions and guidelines allow it, there'll be quite a heavy following of Brewers fans that make that kind of short to mid-distance journey over to the Grantham to watch the Gingerbread Men against the Brewers. And nice to go and watch some football again. But again, guidelines permitting, I think we're in for an exciting pre-season. I think the numbers in the ground will be great. And I just think there's a really positive buzz around the place. Obviously, with my work, I'm in and around the place quite often. And everybody's really positive and bubbly, and they're encouraged of what they've seen in the last 6 months, and everybody's working together. What's happening on the pitch is equally as happening off the pitch as well. There's changes happening with Fleur leaving, but everybody's really positive. Everybody's working hard, and that the same ethic of what Jimmy and Dino are asking on the pitch, and to work hard for as long as they can and give it their all. And that's off the pitch as well. And when results haven't been going their way, it would have been quite easily for those people that work off the field at the club to kind of throw the towel in and not be bothered as well. But they've not seen anybody, they've not had fans to interact with. But the whole club's atmosphere since December has changed dramatically. I know I was kind of like, keep giving Bucko a chance and don't make drastic decisions. But I was wrong. Admittedly, I said about Jimmy coming in, I didn't think he would be the right bloke. He's proved me wrong. Him and Dino have done a fantastic job. And Burton Alwyn, again, performed a miracle, but we're in a fantastic place going forward. I just really hope that what I can see so far, the fans are really positive and going to get behind them. I just hope when we are allowed back in the grounds that, we do fill that Pirelli Stadium up a lot more. We continue to take as many people away as we can when we're allowed to. and we get behind it because it's a fantastic club, and I still think we've got more miracles to make.
Yeah, and
that was a really long answer, wasn't it? That was a really long answer to a strange question, which I can't remember what the question was you asked me.
Well, it's very well. You put into perspective really well, kind of everything that's gonna. I think is going to be, like you said, a huge summer for us. We've got the retained list or part of it that we'll kind of get onto in a moment. But no, it's very well summarized there. It's kind of, it's a big summer and hopefully a big season coming up for us. We've kind of got this one out of the way now. We've got the job done in the end, like I say, and, we've got whatever it is, 3 months now to kind of rejuvenate, re-energize and get ready for hopefully a very, very positive season coming up.
Yeah, there's going to be the retained list come out today. There'll be obviously, before we go any further, testament to the lads that are unfortunately leaving the club: Ben Fox, Reece Hutchinson, Tom Armitage, Ben Hart. Been around the club for a long, long time. Jevon Anderson obviously came in. Not really seen a lot of him. I think the other ones that have been announced are obviously Fondop leaving as well. I'm sure I've missed somebody out somewhere. You might jog me memory in a second, but good luck to them. Certainly for Ben Fox and Reece Hutchinson, I think they were given an opportunity to play in the Championship, League One, and unfortunately injuries have kind of curtailed their chances in a difficult time. Obviously, we've had to get players in and around that, but two footballers with plenty of potential. You've only got to look at Joe Sabara. Again, another player with lots of potential that obviously went for pastures new last year. Owen Gallagher's another one. There's one if you haven't remembered. But they both need to just go and find clubs they're going to play week in, week out, get game time, and build their way back up. They're both young lads with big careers ahead of them, whatever level they play at. But it'll be good for them that the fact they've had a good taste of Championship football and League One football. And I say, unfortunately, due to the injuries, they've probably found themselves in the position that they are. And football's a ruthless game in that aspect. So good luck to all the lads. They've all been great servants. I know Foxy a little bit. I'm really gutted for him, but I'm sure he'll bounce back from that. He's a lovely lad, obviously great with the community and with the fans. Reece as well, big ask for him as a young lad playing at a full back, probably one of the most important positions on the football pitch. So I hope they go and find clubs elsewhere. But on the flip side of that, that's 11 players off the books and a chance for Jimmy and Dino to kind of bring in their own people or the next batch of youngsters in to be given an opportunity. So as much as we feel sorry for them, we feel sorry if they say thanks for the lads that are going, we've also got to look forward and go, we've got to build for the future and build for this next kind of miracle or dream that might happen. So great testament and great thanks to the lads that have been involved. But exciting times ahead.
Yeah, and I mean it's never really nice to kind of see the kind of youth players that have come through to the first team move on, and like you said, I think especially Ben Fox and Reece Hutchinson are two players who have been kind of have had a big part to play in our kind of previous few teams. Like you said, under Cloughie in League One and the Championship. Obviously, it's unfortunate that it's kind of injuries have come their way, and it's like you said, has kind of brushed them out of the picture a little bit. But no, I think it's for the players that have left the club, all of them, I'm sure they've got, like you said, the potential to bounce back. All good players, and I'm sure there's kind of as well a few kind of they'll be disappointed, but there's a lot of potential as well within that team. And although they've got to move on now, they've all kind of got the quality there. So yeah, sad to see them go. But like you said, it also kind of opens up another a door with, I presume, a few kind of finances being freed up and so forth. And we can kind of, like you said, let Jimmy and Dino give them a little bit more of an open kind of, see who they want to target, and they can have a look at them and see how it's going to work out, I suppose.
Yeah, I think with the COVID pandemic going on for the last 12, nearly 18 months now, I guess. Clubs will start to feel the kind of the effects of that financially. So I don't think clubs will be able to carry as many players. So I think this summer there's going to be a hell of a lot of out of contract players out there, whether that be Premiership, Championship, League One, League Two. I think certainly League One, League Two, and maybe even the conference. The squads aren't going to be that big, and they rely heavily on probably your loan players. So the amount of out of contract players out there is going to obviously greaten. We've picked up a few with Danny Rowe and obviously Fondop coming in and doing really well. So give those opportunities. But there'll also be a lot of good quality players out of contract as well that just can't fit in squads. And if we can find a gem from the Premier League or a couple from the Championship or a couple from high end of League One, I think we're an attractive proposition and club for any player to come to with the facilities we've got at St George's Park. We've got I want to say an ex-Golden Boot winner in Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank for the Premier League, but I'm not 100% sure. But certainly a high-profile footballer that's played international football and scored bang load of goals for Middlesbrough, Leeds, Netherlands, Chelsea. What a profile! What a high-profile signing. And then look on the flip side of it. You then got his number 2, Dino, who's been around the lower leagues in League One, League Two, non-league. Great contacts. And again, bringing those two together, we've got contacts in the top end of the game and the lower end of the game. So, great gems to pick up and people to that will be attracted by that management duo, as well as obviously the facilities we've got, and also the way the club's ran as well, which I think everybody's always been nothing but complimentary about. It's a family-filled club. Everybody's close-knit. Everybody off the field knows everybody on the field. Everybody gets on. So, I say, a really exciting time. But on the same token, we need to keep our feet on the floor, not get carried away, not thinking that, Jimmy's going to do a worldie again and we have the same success as the last 6 months or when he was here before, when we obviously got to the top of the League One. Let's be realistic. Let's aim for the top half and see what happens, because there's some big clubs in the League One next season, and still don't rule out Derby County.
Well, yeah, and 1999 is the year you're looking for, if my sources are correct. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank won the Golden Boot, apparently, but no, and it's a high.
Oh, right, I'm happy with that.
That's not bad for a guess anyway. But no, like you said,
even when I was growing up.
Well, yeah, like you said, a lot of big teams in this league, a lot of good players, and obviously, like you said, there's the whole kind of controversy hanging around Derby at the moment. But no, and I think another kind of positive to look at from this retain list is, in a way, if we kind of read between the lines, there's a lot of players' names whose contracts would have expired that haven't been mentioned, and I'm going to take a big assumption and kind of say that the club is still in talks with them. And, I think if you right, my brain's Danny Rowe's one of them, that's for sure. And I'm sure there'll be a few others. Ryan Edwards as well. I know Jimmy said a week or two ago that he was going to kind of look at speaking to him as well, and he'll be a really crucial player for us. But no, we're kind of, like you say, a very attractive proposition, I think, at the moment. Maybe with how the season, the 6 months has gone, who we've got at the club as well, and yeah, no, it's things are certainly looking up for us, as they have done for the last 20, 30 odd years. So, but no, it's looking good, and hopefully a positive, big positive season next year.
Yeah, definitely. The play, obviously they've only announced the players that have been released, so therefore they must be in talks with the ones that they haven't mentioned. Danny Rowe, Ryan Edwards being the two obviously major ones in there. Great to hear that Lucas Aikens is also tied in for another year, as is John Brayford. So therefore, if Mansfield do come calling, then open your checkbook, the Radfords, because they're Bernalwyn players and they ain't going anywhere cheaply. But Jimmy and Dino talked about the positive attitude from the players that were still that were at the club when they came through the door. It would have been really difficult for them to get disheartened and low on confidence. But testament to them for keep going, trying to turn it around, and the fact that they've played like they wanted to be at Burton Albion, whether that being playing for the fans, whether they're not playing for the club, it doesn't matter. They've rolled the sleeves up. They've obviously got the disappointment of where they are in the league, whether they wanted to move on or not. But they roll the sleeves up. They got the job done, and it's now on to the next part of their history. If they want to go elsewhere, that's up to them. But clubs are now going to come in and make an offer for them, and obviously for Burton Albion to get a bit of money for these players, and that's great. For a small club like ours, if we can get transfer fees for players, it makes a big difference. But Lucas is a long-serving player, probably been there 8 years now. John Brayford's into his second spell. Obviously been there before, coming on loan and signing. So two big characters, and it'll be really important for them to be on board next season if they can. So, keeping them will be a big attraction as well to bring other people in. So, yeah, I think there'll be work to do. I think there'll be news in the next couple of days for players that are going to stop and maybe be transfer listed or been released or come to an agreement or whatever. But, I think we're in really good, safe hands with Jimmy and Dino. I think he come out before and said that Hornby had been in the building in the background. Obviously been at Burton Albion before, making lists and doing his due diligence on players, whether we'll be in League Two or League One. Obviously, making those lists and him doing his research as well as Jimmy's and Dino's contacts. I think we're in a good place. I think that we're really organised. I think there's nothing but positivity and excitement, I think, for the new season. And, we've been without football as fans for a long time. So the buzz of actually getting back into a crowd is going to be great anyway. But I think with the work that's going to be done, I think hopefully with the signings that we see, everybody should be right to be excited. I know times are hard money-wise with some folk, but I just really hope that the Burton public, as before, realise what a great club we've got. Not just the football side, but the community side of it as well. And, whether it only be for 1 or 2 games if you can afford it, but come down, let's make sure that, that first league game for sure, when we're back, let's set it out and get behind the lads because they've shown great effort to try and keep going in the last 18 months when it's been really hard. So we're in a great place, and I just hope everybody backs them.
Yeah, and I'm sure I've said this before, but again, very wise words there from Mr. Williams, as it seems to be a recurring theme on this kind of show there.
I just thought you've been practicing banging that drum.
Well, I'll probably have to probably break myself in again. What am I meant to do? But no, it's kind of.
Mark Harden says you can go to his house and practice. It's not a problem.
Well, yeah, but yeah, no, I think it'll be kind of this first home game that hopefully is going to come at some point. I think we get the fixtures in a month and a half now, which seems a long time to wait. I think it's sometime in June. I think June the 20 something or other. Get the fixtures then. Hopefully we'll start with the home game. That'll be pretty incredible. And if all goes to plan and everything keeps moving forward, and then hopefully we'll be back there first week of August. Back in the lads, it'll be a momentous occasion, really, and a huge kind of day, not just for us, Burton Albion, but also I think across the whole country. And if all goes to plan, football fans, up and down the country, there'll be about some 45-ish home games going on that first kind of weekend, and it'll be pretty incredible, I think. And yeah, it's just that kind of wait now of 3 months until the season kicks off again, which seems like a long time, but I'm sure it's going to fly by with a busy summer from the Brewers.
I think about 5 months till I see a game, mate, after today's news. So I'm more than happy. But no, I just hope that people get behind when the grounds reopen. It's been a long time coming, and I think not just the football side of it, but I think it would just be great that, there'd be lots of friends and family that meet at football and haven't seen each other for such a long time. And I just hope it's celebrated in the right way. And the fact we can do it at such a special place like the Pirelli, where, we've both made great friends along the way. I just hope everybody gets down there and makes it a real special occasion.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. I think sometimes that first kind of home game of the season, it's always got that kind of extra buzz to it, that extra kind of not sense of expectation, but that extra kind of excitement coming into it. No matter what league run as well. If you remember, I think we had Ipswich first game back in League One. That was a pretty, maybe not the bumper crowd, but a good atmosphere. Obviously, we had Bristol City in the Championship in the first season. Huge occasion for us. Scunthorpe, I think it was in League One. So there's kind of this, and we might not have the best record on the opening day, but we can. I'm sure the backing of the fans and the backing of everyone, there's something that can change, and everything is certainly looking up for us.
Yeah, I've said it before, it's a marathon, not a sprint. The season's 46 games long. It doesn't matter where we are at Christmas, it's matter where we are after game 46 at the end of the day, as this season's proved.
And many teams have proven that as well. But no, it's been, it's all about as well, hopefully, as well as be nice to pack the Pirelli out for the opening first home game back, but also why not the other 23 or however many we'll be playing. It'll be nice to kind of keep that going, and hopefully it'll be matched on the pitch with what I'm sure will be a very, very strong Burton team next season. And we're going to be pushing a lot of teams. We've shown it this season, like you said, I think fourth since Jimmy and Dino came in. So if we can keep that up, we'll be there or thereabouts, and it'll be a great occasion for everyone. Like I said, up and down the country, football fans, football clubs, football players, anyone associated with the sport, be incredible.
Yeah, the other thing I will say to people, I know obviously this is mainly about Burton Albion, but if you can't get to a Burton Albion game, or whether Burton Albion aren't playing, let's go and support our local clubs as well. There's Mickleover, Gresley, State Mill, Newhall. Hopefully I've not missed anybody there, but there's some great local clubs out there. Me and you both go ground hopping when we can. Something I've missed greatly, living at home. I don't like spending much time at home anyway, but a great chance to go out with one of my mates, visit new places and support, local facilities that put a lot back into the community. But, so if you can't get to a Burton game, whether it be too much, or Burton Albion aren't playing, then, just because you can't get to the Pirelli doesn't stop you going to these local places as well. Even just on the park pitch, just go out there and let's go and watch football again. It's a great sport. It's opinionated. There's no right or wrong opinion as long as you can back your point up, as I've said before. I had many conversations and arguments with people. It's a nation's game. We've got the Euros coming up. Fans back in the ground next season. After everything that's gone on, football's a real good release for a lot of people mentally. So, yeah, just if you can't back Burton Albion, go and back your local sides, or if you can do both, even better. But go and interact with people, go and support local clubs, go and help them out, having a pint, just do an entrance fee. But just go and enjoy yourself, and let's mentally let's get back on an even keel and let's go and enjoy our lives again. And football is a big part of that for me, certainly. I've talked about people know my mental health at times isn't great, and football's my biggest release. And certainly, it's in the 18 months, I've struggled at times really, really bad, and I've sought help. I've not public knowledge to a lot of people, but I've sought help. But mainly it's not the football that I've missed. It's the interaction with people, that energy of bouncing around and going off people's opinions and having a chat, even if you disagree with them. I laugh about it and I'm going to name him and he might not like him. But, Tom Jarvis, for example, he's the most positive energy person who loves Burton Albion, like any of us do. And as much as I have a difference of opinion of him at times, seeing him every week on Twitter with his opinions in the last 18 months probably made me realise that I do miss listening to him sometimes at games. And, there's probably hundreds of people that I've missed it around football. I'm sure there's lots of hundreds and thousands of people that probably feel the same as me, that they've not been able to talk and engage with folk. But, we're coming out of it. As I say, so get yourselves out there, go and support local people, go and interact, go and talk to other folk. It's great to talk. It's great to hear other people's opinions, share experiences, and just enjoy football again.
Well, there you go. I don't really know how to follow that, Anton. I was very, very, yeah. I was, I think pretty much you hit the nail on the head there with the, like I say, kind of all across the country. But things are kind of slowly but surely, we are getting there, and hopefully, like I say, come August, first week of August or second week of August, however it falls, we'll be there, we'll be back, back in the team, but also having that, like you say, that kind of social, that interaction, that experience, and yeah, it'll be brilliant for us.
100%, and hopefully, as I said, we've got the Euros coming up before that. A lot of test kind of events as well. Obviously, there's local kind of competitions going on with the Don Amott Cup. Obviously, next week the restrictions are lifted a little bit. So, get yourselves out there, out and about. If not, go and watch a game of cricket and come and laugh at me getting injured.
Well, there you go. There's the two big options there for people to choose between. I mean, for quite some time now, I think this is going to kind of be the end of a discussion, if you will, a kind of, season's over. We've got, as I'm sure I must have said about 10 times now, we've got 3 months really to kind of prepare for the season, but also prepare for being back in the stadium. So, I mean, Anton, thank you very much for not just this week, but obviously this kind of what must have been, since January, joining me on these Thursday, Wednesday evenings to come and talk about the Brewers. And thank you very much. And
no problem, mate. My pleasure. And as I said to you before off camera, where you've come from in the last 3 or 4 years, absolute testament to yourself and obviously your parents and how you brought you up. It's great to see your confidence shining through and you're doing something you're passionate about, even after a few knockbacks. So keep it up, mate. And I look forward to speaking to you two again, hopefully in July, August time, when there's some more news and some games to talk about. And more importantly, catch up with a non-alcoholic drink with you in the pub, maybe when the time's right.
Yeah, fingers crossed. That'll be brilliant. Like I say, Anton, thank you so much for kind of joining me, and thank everyone for watching. Really, it's kind of it's been. I mean, we couldn't have chosen a better kind of time to get going with it. It's been an incredible 6 months, 5 months of the club, and long may it continue.
No, brilliant. Hope everyone's enjoyed it. As I said, football's all about opinion. Might not agree on mine, might not agree with yours. As long as you've got a valid point, I'm happy to listen to any of it. I'm happy to discuss any of it. But at the end of the day, we all watch football for the same reason: entertainment, love of the club, and just as I said before, let's go out now, enjoy our lives again. Life's too short, and let's be happy. And come on, you Brewers!
Come on, you Brewers! Anton, thank you so much. Catch up with you in a couple of months.
See you, folks.
Cheers. See you.